Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother Sid of the Commandment Keepers Church. We have a detailed broadcast for our brothers and sisters internationally. The title of today's broadcast will be Blessed Are the Eyes That See. Blessed are the eyes that see, brothers and sisters. Today, we're diving into a fascinating discussion about how Satan has masterfully crafted a world so busy that many of us are completely unaware of our place in prophetic history. Okay? It's thrilling to explore how distraction is his most powerful weapon against humanity, brothers and sisters. Just take a look around at our current culture. Immorality is soaring to unprecedented heights like never before in the history of civilization. And this is a reality we cannot overlook. Okay, the Bible has warned us, brothers and sisters, to stay vigilant and aware of our cultural surroundings. Why? Neglecting this can lead to Satan tightening his grip. Okay, brothers and sisters, in today's broadcast, we'll uncover how he's skillfully convinced people to overlook the glaring signs unfolding right before our very eyes. It's astonishing to see how rapidly alternative lifestyles have surged over the past decade. More than 60% of children now identify as part of the alphabet mafia. This trend is a significant indicator of the alarming shifts happening in this world, brothers and sisters. We are currently experiencing a higher prevalence of mental illness than at any other time in history. And this is a fact that cannot be denied. Many people overlook the statistics that indicate that living a homosexual lifestyle increases the likelihood of struggling with depression and the risk of suicide. Join us as we unravel these compelling revelations together.
A new study found that half of transgender male adolescents have attempted suicide. It's an alarming statistic that is more than triple the attempted suicide rate among teens who are not transgender. Lauren Bell shows us the resources available to help anyone who's struggling.
Kiara Prince has a full-time job and just moved into her own apartment. But the teenager's life wasn't always this full. In fact, it wasn't long ago that Prince didn't want to live at all.
I did almost, try to commit suicide. When I was young, I didn't really have nobody to really be there for me to help me through that process.
Luckily, she was able to find help at the Covenant House. And for the first time in her life, she felt love and acceptance.
It's way easier now. I'm more comfortable. More people are more comfortable with me.
But not all teens are so lucky. A new study found that transgender adolescents attempt suicide at a much higher rate than teens who are not part of the transgender community. 51% of transgender male adolescents reported at least one suicide attempt, with 30% of transgender female adolescents reporting the same. That's compared to only 8.6% of teens who do not identify as transgender who attempt suicide.
Tragic, sad, mad.
Jim Kelly is the executive director of the Covenant House, and he was troubled by the study, though sadly not surprised. 13 of the 14 transgender teens in his program attempted suicide in the past. He works to make sure all teens, regardless of their race or gender identity, feel supported. It's a simple and obvious reaction, but one that transgender teens often can't find within their families, schools, or communities.
Our youth that we serve that are in the transgender population have gone through an enormous amount of bullying, exploitation, isolation, all things that can trigger depression and lead to suicide.
For transgender teenagers feeling alone and isolated now, there are ways to find people to accept you the way you are. Prince says to keep going until you find the support you deserve.
You can't live for nobody else, you have to live for yourself.
Lauren Bale, Eyewitness News.
And the Covenant House accepts any child or teenager, regardless of your gender identity. Their doors are always open. For more information, head to our website, wwltv.com.
Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter. We're going to read the 10th and the 11th verse in the NLT version of the Bible. The title of today's broadcast, Blessed Are the Eyes That See. Blessed are the eyes that see, brothers and sisters. We're in the book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter and the 10th and 11th verse, and it reads, Carefully determine what pleases the Lord. Take no part in the worthless deeds of evil and darkness. Instead, expose them. Let's take a look at that again, brothers and sisters. Ephesians 5 and 10, and it reads, carefully determine, carefully determine what pleases the Lord. Verse 11 reads, take no part in the worthless deeds of evil and darkness. Take no part in the worthless deeds of evil and darkness. Instead, expose them. Take a look at that, brothers and sisters. The Bible tells us that we need to expose the wickedness that has been tolerated by mainstream culture. See that? The deeds of darkness must be exposed by the light, according to the text. And we're going to do that today. Why? The Apostle Paul instructs us on how to combat evil. You don't ignore it. You expose it. You shed light on it, brothers and sisters. See that? So the text stresses that overlooking evil only allows it to grow. Okay? Remaining silent allows it to circulate, brothers and sisters. Let's be honest about that. The title today, Blessed Are the Eyes That See. Can you see the signs, brothers and sisters? Okay, the passage points out the need to uncover sin in order to defeat it. And we're going to put that on the table today. Why? Scripture instructs us that is our responsibility to bring light to the evil that has been deliberately concealed. See that? We're going to put it on the table. Why? Sinful behaviors must be dragged from the shadows and exposed under the power of truth and righteousness, brothers and sisters. It has to happen. Why? Most people are scared to speak up. People have lost their courage. People fear popular culture. Okay, and in this particular passage, the Apostle Paul provides strategic instruction on how believers should engage in spiritual warfare. Let's talk about that. Why? When the righteous remain silent in the face of corruption, evil spreads its poisonous influence. Okay? Think about that, brothers and sisters. Bringing sinful behavior into the open is the primary method for defeating and overcoming its destructive power. Okay? We have stopped doing that. We have stopped shedding light on evil. Okay? When you look in the Christian church, brothers and sisters, and see, this is the issue with the Christian church. They don't see what's going on outside. They only speak as if the world is a good place, right? They only speak about what's going right or what should go right. Okay, and here the Apostle Paul shows us how to confront evil. Okay, the church has stopped confronting evil. Let's be honest about that. The Christian church no longer fights against evil. Okay, and we're going to put it on the table. Why? The text teaches us that ignoring evil fuels its growth. Okay, the scripture emphasizes the significance of confessing sin in order to overcome it. We have to speak about it. We cannot ignore it. If it's wrong, we must say so. All right. In this particular passage, we discover the importance of developing spiritual discernment in the last days. Okay. According to this particular passage, sin has been rebranded. So we must have a level of discernment in order to uncover this. Okay, most parents are unaware that a male bus driver dressed as a little girl dropped off children from school in a major city, and the media ignored this incident.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Vaughan, Ontario. And folks, I'm standing outside the headquarters for Landmark Bus Lines. This company is making headlines around the world, actually, if you can believe it. That's all because they employ a school bus driver. He's male, but he dresses as a girl. And more disturbingly, he has a sign in the window of his school bus that says the Lolita line. I'm sorry, but Lolita, that is a loaded word. It suggests pedophilia. Remember Epstein's Lolita Express? So we're trying to find out yet again what the situation is with this bus driver. Now, I can tell you, when a group of parents reached out to us a few weeks ago complaining about this bus driver, He was picking up and dropping off kids at St. Michael the Archangel School in York Region. You might recall this video. Check it out.
And I don't think there's any trouble.
So you picked up the kids dressed like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Why do you call your bus the Lolita line? Why is it called the Lolita line? Why is it called the Lolita line? Somebody's gonna talk to sick people.
Mike, when people are mentally sick, you can't talk to them. Let them drive.
He's a sick person. Don't ever bother with him.
But get a load of this. A source recently passed on yet another video of this individual. This time it was at Father Bressani School in York Region. Here, check it out. So he seems to wear this attire on a consistent basis. He seems to always be displaying this sign. We have reached out to the bus company, as has many other media outlets, asking for an explanation. Now, I can tell you, as a result of our report a few weeks ago, the York Catholic District School Board released a statement to us. Basically, that bus driver is persona non grata at all York Catholic schools in the region. How is it that a school bus line that is entrusted with the health and safety of vulnerable minors is employing somebody that is, I don't know, dressing up in fetish gear and displaying a sign that says the Lolita line?
We will reveal the mischief that corporate media makes an effort to overlook. Okay, that's our purpose at the Commandment Keepers Church. Okay, we're so busy. We're so distracted, brothers and sisters. We have no clue what's going on. And it's our job at the Commandment Keepers Church to keep you abreast with the current events. Okay, God has shown us that the most effective way to battle evil is to bring it into the light. Okay, we will expose the misconduct that the mainstream media deliberately chooses to ignore or suppress. Let's be honest about this. Our task, brothers and sisters, is to shine a spotlight on the hidden agendas that these powerful media conglomerates keep concealed from public scrutiny. We're going to do that. Why, brothers and sisters? The most effective method for defeating evil is to illuminate it and drag them out of the shadows where they operate. See? The corporate media is our greatest challenge in this battle for truth. Okay, and that cannot be denied. Every major media corporation has fallen under the direct control and manipulation of satanic forces. And this is undeniable, brothers and sisters. Okay, most people have become enemies of God because they've been indoctrinated by the corporate media. Think about that. The world has been misled, brothers and sisters, because corporate culture chooses not to uncover the truth concerning our society. We're living through a war for information. People are more indoctrinated today than ever before. How do we know? Many people overlooked the incident on Cops where a wife called the police on her husband for saying he would not accept a gay child.
All right, right now we're headed to a family disturbance. A wife called and told us that she and her husband were in a verbal argument. Right now they were fighting as the husband just found out that their son or their child has an alternative lifestyle, and he was threatening to hit her and this child at this time, but as of now it's only verbal, and he doesn't know she called. Hello, how are you? Come on out here. Okay, what's your name?
My name's Joseph.
Okay, how you doing?
All right.
Talk to me. Okay. Joe, tell me what happened today.
We just had a little argument. We were watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, she liked to watch Trading Spouse. And they had this guy that was, how would you say, a homosexuality on it. And I said, well, if my child is a homosexuality, I wouldn't own him. And I said, I have a daughter. And I said, if it was a boy, I might chastise him every day to make sure that he be a man.
Let me ask you, how old is your daughter?
My daughter is only 16 months old. She's a little baby.
So
She's asleep.
The information that we got, is that y'all are arguing about a child who was homosexual. Is this not true?
We ain't got no child that's homosexual.
Okay, so y'all are arguing about something that isn't
on
even...
TV.
Okay.
On TV.
I'm pretty clear now.
Yeah.
Hang tight for me 1 second, okay? I'm gonna get my partner out here with you.
If I sit down.
Sure, have a seat. Hello, how are you? Y'all were watching a TV show.
Trading Spouse, and there was a young man on there who appeared like he was gay. And my husband started saying, if we ever have a son and he acts like that, I'm going to start beating him every day until he becomes a man. And I was trying to explain to him that you can't do that. You know, you have to just support your children and teach them what you believe. And when they make their own decisions, you still love them.
Right.
And he just kept getting angrier and angrier. So I decided to go upstairs. And he ran up there and was screaming at me and stuff. So I got frightened because he has pushed on me and hit me before and knocked me into walls. And so I decided...
Has there ever been any police reports filed on that?
I have 2 case numbers upstairs.
Did you file charges on him at that time?
No, because things changed and he stopped. And then over the past several months or so, he's been like coming home in a bad mood and shut up and, you know, just starting up again. So I just...
And your daughter is 16 months old? Okay. Okay. So because the information we got was totally different. We had gotten that y'all already had a child, actually a son, that y'all found out was having this alternative lifestyle and that he was going to strike you and the child. Did he threaten to hit you tonight?
He threatened to hit a child that doesn't exist, and like I said, well, what about our daughter Joy? Because we do have a little girl. I said, what if she comes home and says, I'm a lesbian? I said, you know, he said, well, I'm going to beat on her too until she decides to be a woman.
A married woman goes so far as to contact law enforcement to report her own spouse simply because he has chosen to take a principled stand. Think about this, brothers and sisters. This devastating breakdown of family unity demonstrates how deeply the ideological divide has penetrated. Okay, the influence of social media and mainstream corporate news has systemically dismantled society's understanding of moral righteousness. We're going to put that on the table. Why? These powerful media forces work in tandem to blur the lines between right and wrong. See that? It's impossible to deny, brothers and sisters, that the indoctrination of corporate media has spread like cancer. Okay? There is no longer any concept of righteousness in the social media age, and corporate culture is not helping. Okay? As a result of social media and corporate culture, the image of righteousness has been completely obliterated, brothers and sisters. Let's be honest. Okay, social media and corporate media have completely destroyed the concept of morality. Okay, here it is. This brother has taken a principled stand to uphold what God's word says concerning homosexuality, and his wife calls the police. You better wake up, brothers and sisters. You better know who you're marrying. You better know who you're getting pregnant. You better know who you're living with, brothers and sisters. Okay, because that should have never transpired. See that? And you have to put that on the table. If you're courting someone as a brother, right, you need to find out what her understanding of the homosexual lifestyle is, right? Is that something she agrees with? Why? Because if my wife has a difference in opinion on what is right in the eyes of God, we're going to have big problems. See that? So we wanted to put it out there. The indoctrination, brothers and sisters, the indoctrination is deep. And we're going to talk about it today. Why? The title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, blessed are the eyes that see. Everyone can't see, brothers and sisters. And we're going to prove that. Okay? Follow us to the book of Proverbs 29. Brothers and sisters, we're at Proverbs 29 and 16. We're in the King James Version of the Bible, and it reads, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. Take a look at that, brothers and sisters. Proverbs 29:16 reads, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. Take a look at that, brothers and sisters. The Bible informs us that failing to pinpoint evil for what it is leads us to acceptance within the culture. See that? In the Bible, we're told that when we fail to call evil what it is, it becomes accepted by the culture. Let's talk about that. Why? We become accustomed to evil when we don't call it what it is in the Bible. See that? I call it toxic empathy. A lot of sisters have this empathy that is toxic, that will destroy a community, that will destroy culture, because we need to be understanding. We need to be empathetic for everybody and everything. I disagree. Okay, and so does God. Why? According to the text, wickedness spreads when its true identity is concealed. Okay, if God calls it sin, guess what it is? If God calls it abomination, guess what it is, brothers and sisters? Let's talk about it. Why? According to the text, when popular culture promotes evil, it expands. See? Whenever popular culture promotes evil, it expands, according to the Bible, brothers and sisters. Consider that. The Bible informs us that failing to identify evil for what it is leads to its acceptance within the culture. And who can deny that? Who can deny it, brothers and sisters? The text suggests that to increase evil, one must conceal its true nature. And that's what we've done. We've accepted immorality. We've accepted it. Okay, the Lord reveals that the issues we observe in today's culture stem from the acceptance of wickedness, of immorality, of corruption. See, corporate media and social media refuse to condemn evil. So society has been corrupted. That's where we are. Okay, the time in which we live, brothers and sisters, is the most perverse and sexually immoral in the history of civilization, but you're not allowed to speak out against it. See that? We live in a time where immorality and perverseness is accepted. Let's be honest about that. We live in the most immoral and perverse period in the history of civilization, but you're not allowed to condemn it publicly. See that? Even if you disagree with it, when you come on social media, when you're on corporate television, you have to bend the knee. You have to capitulate. You have to agree. There's no way I believe that all these celebrities and people, athletes and all that, agree with the sexual perverseness we see. But they understand in order to keep making millions of dollars, they must bend the knee publicly. Okay? There is more sexual perversion today than at any time in history due to the lack of sexual restraint promoted by the federal government. Let's be honest. Due to the lack of sexual discipline promoted by the federal government, there are more cases of sexual perversion than ever before, brothers and sisters. Remember, media outlets tried to downplay the seriousness of a Clermont County father sentenced to 250 years for sexually abusing his adopted daughter.
A Clermont County man will spend the rest of his life behind bars for raping a child he was supposed to be protecting.
Local 12's Christian Hauser joins us now with details on the sentence, what the victim told the judge, and who the suspect said was to blame for the rapes. Christian.
Yeah, Adam and Megan, during the sentencing just a little while ago, Charlie Thederman was sentenced to at least 240 years in prison. Now, a jury found him guilty of 93 charges, including rape, as well as other sexual-related charges. But during today's hearing, he cast blame on everyone but himself, including the victim. Now, Thederman was led into court wearing his orange jumpsuit. Now, he had handcuffs as well as a folder of documents. He actually represented himself during the trial and did so again for today's sentencing. Now, Now, Judge Jason Nagel offered Thederman the chance to speak. Now, Thederman spoke for nearly half an hour, blaming everyone but himself for these crimes. He even said it was a consensual sexual relationship with this victim. Here he is claiming that that victim was the one in control of these sexual assaults.
In every video the state showed, she never asked me to stop any sexual activity, but she had that power. She verified this during trial with the question about oral sex. She had the ability to do or not do anything at any time. In one of the videos the state did not show, came to my room and said, "I don't feel like doing anything tonight." And my response was, "Okay, give me a rain check for tomorrow."
Yes, you heard that right. Thederman admits to telling a child she could give him a rain check to sexually assault her the next day. Now, after he was finished speaking, the victim was then given her chance to address the judge as well as Thederman. Here's what she said about the years that she was being abused and raped.
When I turned 13, I never would have expected to be in the position where I'm at. The 6 years in that home was the worst 6 years of my life. All of the abuse and neglect hidden by lies so the CPS worker wouldn't take us. On top of that, the emotional abuse and manipulation took an immense toll on me. His apologies are like a slap in the face. He's only sorry he got caught. He paints himself as the victim, but we are the survivors of that home.
We are not naming this victim, but she did give us permission to videotape and record her statement in court. Now, after the hearing, I spoke with the assistant prosecutor, Christina Datillo, after the sentence was handed down. She spoke about how brave that victim was to come forward, and she also talked about how challenging the trial was for her since Thederman represented himself.
He actually questioned his own victim. She had to look at him and she had to answer his questions. As heinous, disgusting, and inappropriate as they were, and she did great. She really did. She was the composed young woman that you saw today. She should be proud of herself, and I hope she is.
When we hesitate to condemn behaviors that are morally wrong, we create an environment where these practices can flourish. Okay? We have reached a point where openly criticizing certain sexual behaviors has become socially unacceptable. Okay? When we examine the landscape of corporate media, professional success depends on avoiding any criticism of immorality. And everybody knows it. Okay? Our reluctance to condemn immorality allows it to spread, brothers and sisters. Let's be honest about this. Due to the fear of speaking against evil, it continues to grow. Okay? Since we can no longer condemn sexual perversion, society has begun to tolerate it. Open your eyes, brothers and sisters. Looking at corporate media, it is evident that success requires you to avoid denouncing sexual perversion. If you want to profit in corporate media, you cannot criticize evil. Okay? Culture is shaped by what is shown on television and social media. And this is undeniable, brothers and sisters. Okay? Because we cannot label homosexuality as evil and condemn it as God does, all sexual perversions have increased. And guess what? Children are the most affected by the sexual culture that has been accepted. And this is undeniable, brothers and sisters. Many people completely overlook the adult man who was arrested for signing a teenage girl out of school to engage in sexual activity with her, pretending to be her brother.
Working to learn more about a child sex abuse case. How was a man able to check out a Kirby High School student while pretending to be her brother? WREG's Raven Copeland reports from Hickory Hill, where many are just shocked and disappointed this evening.
A disturbing situation reported at Kirby High School this week. Memphis police say 23-year-old Kevin Talley Jr. checked a 16-year-old student out of school after he pretended to be her brother.
I'm not sure as to why that was accepted or allowed at the school, but they definitely need to do more thorough and deep research and getting those IDs and everything and making sure they're getting and keeping track of who's taking the students out of the school.
The affidavit shows Talley then drove to an unknown location and engaged in a sexual act with the child. After, Memphis police say the suspect drove to a Walgreens to get money out of an ATM, but he allegedly refused and attempted to leave the teen, but she jumped back into the car. Tally's accused of dropping the child off at Kirby High, where she told deputies about the sexual act and Tally's refusal to pay her the $60 that he allegedly promised. The teen also told police that she met the suspect on an app called Plenty of Fish.
My biggest concern with that is allowing the children on devices too early, allowing them on certain apps too early. A lot of these parents, they know that the children are on these apps. They don't screen the apps. They don't check behind their children. And that's where we fail our children daily.
Tally, who's now charged with statutory rape, told police that he believed the child was of legal age. As the investigation continues, a Hickory Hill mother hopes this is a learning lesson for parents and the school district.
When you don't watch them, when you're not looking, when they don't think that you are looking or watching, that's where you allow people to come in and they take over and they take your children and do what God knows what.
The scriptures teach us that when we fail to confront evil, the consequences extend far beyond our own lives. We have a 16-year-old girl who's willing to leave school with a man she does not know for sex because this is what the culture accepts. This man poses as her brother and walks right out of the school with her. Okay, this is what the culture accepts, brothers and sisters. There are opportunists that are called predators, okay? And they are everywhere you turn. This man posed as her brother. And guess what? This is what happened. The schools aren't doing their jobs. Okay, the school is promoting sexual immorality. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here, because they're promoting what? What they used to call hygiene class is now sex education. This is being taught in the schools. See that? So you think the school cares that this young girl is being picked up by a full-grown man to be sexually assaulted? Okay? Parents better check up on their children. You better check up on your children, because why? If you don't, you're gonna find your child changing. Okay? You need to, if they have a phone, you need to go through it regularly. If they have a computer, go through it regularly. Okay, check their bags, random searches. Why? That's what a parent who wants to protect their children does. Because why? Children get into stuff accidentally. Okay? This is the culture. This is the culture that a man in his mid-20s is willing to seduce a teenager. Okay? He's willing to risk going to prison for the rest of his natural life for sex. This is the culture we have built, brothers and sisters. Pedophilia. See that? And because we can't speak against homosexuality, we can't speak against pedophilia. And that's a fact that cannot be denied, but we're going to do it anyway. At the Commandment Keepers Church, we're going to call evil what it is. We don't care what somebody has to say about that. Okay? We don't care what somebody has to say about that. We will call out evil every time we see it. And we do it even in the Black community. We do it first in the Black community. We do it in the Christian community. Because why? When you call out, we do it in the Israelite community. Why? When you call out your own evil, it gives you a license, a freedom to call out the evil in other areas. See that? So we have to wake up, brothers and sisters. The title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, blessed are the eyes that see. Blessed are the eyes that see, brothers and sisters. Follow us to the book of Isaiah, the 5th chapter. Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Isaiah, the 5th chapter and the 20th verse. And it reads, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Brothers and sisters. Let's take a look at that one more time. Isaiah 5:20 reads, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter," brothers and sisters. According to the Bible, truth can only be defined by the word of God, not by any other sources or standard. Okay, brothers and sisters, God's word determines truth. No other sources will do. And we need to be clear on that. Why? Regardless of what the world sees as good or evil, our definition is found in the God of all truth. Okay? Scripture warns that we live in times where Satan has confused right from wrong. Let's be honest about that. The Bible cautioned us that society would face a vulgarism the instant it started to disregard what God defines as truth. Let's talk about that. Why? The Bible here highlights the repercussions of labeling evil as something that is good. And we are living in that time, brothers and sisters. Okay, we're living in a time where Satan has misled us into believing that left is right and up is down. And that's a fact that cannot be disputed, brothers and sisters. When you observe popular culture and analyze social media, all that God considers toxic has been portrayed as virtuous, brothers and sisters. Okay? To achieve success in the corporate media landscape, you are forbidden from denouncing evil. And this is a truth that cannot be refuted, brothers and sisters. Okay? Consider hip hop. Consider hip hop and how popular it has become and why it is so popular. No musical genre is more immoral. There is no musical genre that is more immoral than hip hop. And that fact is undisputable, brothers and sisters. Let's be honest. Hip hop was once a symbol of masculinity, but now it has changed the masculine man into a more feminized version of himself. Okay, many people ignored the fact that rap superstar Drake confessed that wearing fingernail polish was one of the most significant decisions of his career. We had the most popular rapper in the game admitting that he had no problem leading men down a path of feminization.
Thank you. I don't know why you would know that.
If I get my
It's a
nails
little-
done. I get my nails done.
Okay.
You know,
Answer-
you know what a big thing was when I
Yeah.
when I started to get my nails done? I think the first thing I did was I painted them like yellow or something because I was like, oh, I'm gonna start getting manicures and like start like doing like getting my nails nice. And then people are gonna say things, and then I was like, you know what? I had 3 really, really important stages in my life. One was getting braids. I was like, oh, people are gonna be like, he's getting braids, like midlife crisis braids.
Have you not always had them?
No.
I've never known you to not have them.
Well, that's because you know absolutely nothing
I
about
don't-
me
zero things
and pay
about you.
zero attention. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Lexi, who's way younger than you, knows that I haven't had braids for my entire life, right? Yeah. Lexi's great. I love Lexi.
I do too.
But I have not had braids for my entire life. And then I got a face tat and I was like, oh,
What is
midlife
that?
crisis face tat, they're going to say.
What is that of?
My mom's initials.
What are they?
SG. Sandra Gale.
That's cute.
So I was like, oh,
What'd your mom think of that?
she's rowdy. She's a rowdy lady. So she actually got yatted up right after.
Good for her.
Yeah, she got a fucking super yat on her arm.
Amazing. What's
She
the
got
third
yatted-
thing?
She got yatted down.
Nails, hair.
The third thing was the nails. I was like, oh, you know,
What
I
was
was
the
like,
first
hanging-
one?
I was
Oh,
hanging out with-
tattoo, hair, nails.
I was hanging out with Yachty and like, I was like, fuck, man, I bite my nails like a lot. I'm like, I want like nice nails, and he had nice nails. I was like, and he was like doing wild shit. Like he would have them like painted and stuff, but he'd have like French manicures and all this shit. And I'd be like, it's such a nice trait, like just to reach for something and see like nice nails. And then, but I was like, but I just went for it. I remember like, I think I painted them like yellow and blue, and I'm like, I want somebody to say something negative to me about it so I can just like, it's like, I dare you to say anything about these fucking nails. Not on the internet, I just mean like in person. I was like, I hope somebody just gets active.
Did anyone say something?
No, they didn't.
Just me?
No, just you right now, how ugly they are.
They are
not
without
dying.
it, yeah.
And damaged they are, by the way.
They're rough.
Shout out to Vic though. Vic does a great job on my nails. She just hasn't been around lately.
Yeah, you gotta get her out
He
here.
gets here tomorrow.
Good.
The most prominent rapper in hip hop history is encouraging young men to embrace femininity. And this is a fact that's undeniable. Okay? One of the most renowned rappers of the past 2 decades is actively trying to promote the feminization of men. And we're going to talk about it. Regardless of Drake's immense wealth. He understands that voicing opposition to the feminization of men would jeopardize his career. Every hip hop artist is aware that speaking out against any form of wrongdoing will result in losing millions of dollars. Okay. Drake has popularized feminized men, a trend that is now evident throughout the hip hop industry. Many people chose to overlook the moment when Shannon Sharpe interviewed rapper Lil Yachty, who openly confessed that he saw nothing wrong with men wearing nail polish.
Boy. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Let me ask you this. You've gone viral several times.
Not always for a good reason.
But not for a good reason. But painting your nails. How did you come to that? Say, you know what? I'm gonna paint my fingernails.
I stole that shit from Rocky. He did it first.
Okay.
But he did it so long ago. And I was painting my nails. I was always painting. I just had clear coats.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, because I was always around him. And I always thought he was, still to this day, think he's just like really cool. And so I started doing it. But then after I started doing it, everybody started doing it. So I stopped doing it.
D Wade, when you mentioned Kid Cudi, Tyler the Creator, Drake, Paul. I mean, but you know what comes along with
being called gay. Yeah, I mean, people. I think. Again, this goes back to the conversation about people not being comfortable in their masculinity. And also so interesting to me, like, it's like, who gives a... I could see if I was gay and then I was like coming after, it's like if I was DMing all the men in the comments like, ooh, give me your booty. Then it's like, all right, be confused. But right. I don't know any of you, right? And it's obvious, and I'm not. So like, why are you so worried?
Right.
It'd be one thing if I was like on social media, like, kids, be gay. Right. It's good for you. I'm not like spreading the message of go be like nigga, I'm over here doing me. Like, I don't get it. Just be on dick, bro. Pause. But they do. It's so weird. People spend so much time worried about other people. Like that video when you was walking in that store.
Yeah.
And you had them extra skin tight pants on. But like, why do people give a fuck? You feel me? I remember saying that, being like, why y'all so bothered? Who gives a fuck?
These brothers are forbidden from voicing their opposition to the feminization of men if they wish to maintain their careers in entertainment. Okay, what we're witnessing unfold in our culture is the result of unexposed evil. Okay, God cautioned us that neglecting evil would allow it to increase, and that is precisely what has occurred. Open your eyes, brothers and sisters. Okay, it's time that we call evil what it is. It's time. Okay, stand up for righteousness. God is looking for those who are not afraid to stand up for what is right. Okay, and we're going to stand up for what is right in love. We don't have hatred against anybody, but we're going to call evil what it is, because if we don't, we're going to get more of what we see. The title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, blessed are the eyes that see. Why? Most people can't. Most people cannot see, brothers and sisters. And we're going to put it on the table. We're hoping that this broadcast is going to help brothers and sisters see what's truly going on. Okay? The devil has us distracted. Satan has us distracted, brothers and sisters. We're all so busy that we don't know what's going on. Follow us, brothers and sisters, to Deuteronomy 22. Brothers and sisters, we're here at Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. And it reads, "The woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God." Deuteronomy 22 and 5 reads, "The woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God." Brothers and sisters, the Bible reveals that cross-dressing is considered as sinful, according to the Bible. Okay, the Bible indicates that cross-dressing is offensive to God because it opposes the natural order and it ridicules the opposite gender. Okay, let's be honest. The Bible implies that people should dress in accordance with their biological sex, and deviating from that is opposing God's design. See that? And that includes nail polish. Okay, God is against feminized men, or what the Bible calls effeminate men. It is a sin. Okay? Upon careful inspection of the passage, God condemns a feminized man. See that? And too many sisters are in agreement with this. Too many sisters have a gay male friend. What is that about? What is that about? Sister, the Bible says you shouldn't have any friends that's living the alternative lifestyle. Hey, brother, you know what? I love you, but I can't consider you a friend until you walk away from purpose sin. Right? Whether that's homosexuality, fornication. Okay, if I know a brother's cheating on his wife, hey, brother, listen, if you can't be committed to her, you certainly couldn't be committed to me as a friend. Okay, the text is unequivocal. God detests when men behave like women. Think about that. The Bible declares that those who wear garments associated with the opposite gender are defying Christ and opposing God's intent. See that? The Bible criticizes effeminate men, but doing so in the corporate media will jeopardize your career. So you're not allowed to hold the perspective that the Bible does. Okay, the neglect of the transgender community's growth has led to the widespread of sexual perversion. The fear of standing firm on biblical principles has allowed evil to flourish like never before. Many people ignored the fact that popular gay vlogger Jason Lee interviewed Candace Owens over the transgender movement, and she stood her ground.
At the end of the day, if you were born a man, you're dying a man, and that's it. You got to deal with that in your own personal time. It's not up for me to help you work through those psychological issues, and that's just how it has to be right now.
But what about people who say that? Let's conflate again, because you brought up Rachel Dolezal on race. That you as a black woman, no matter you having a white husband, having black and white kids, speaking all this rhetoric, you'll still be equivalent to, what do they call us, monkeys, or an animal, or subhuman, because we're who they think we are.
That's just not true. I'm not
of course it's not true.
But I'm not calling a person who's born a male saying that you're going to die a male. It's not the same as saying to a person who's a human, you're going to die a monkey, which is a different species.
But do you think people have looked at us our whole lives as
that's just name calling. That's silly. And I've not denigrated anybody and said that you're not a human. I'm just telling you because, unfortunately, a lot of people, when you get out in the world, are going to lie to you to make you feel good. And I'm just not here to run the world like it's a kindergarten classroom. I couldn't imagine waking up every day and wanting to be something that I'm not. And now you've got people that are saying they're trans animals, people that are saying that
what's a trans animal?
That's a thing.
That is not a thing.
I swear to you.
It's trans animal.
Yes, there are people that think that they're cats and dogs. It's a thing now, and that's when the slope gets slippery. This is what happens when you give a mouse a cookie. Have you ever read that book? I got a lot of topics. When you give a mouse a cookie, they want the glass of milk. Mm-hmm. Slippery slope, right? So you got to start and say, guess what, mouse, you're not getting the cookie. You're a man, okay? That's it. And like a man, take it like a man, okay? If you want to dress up like a woman, do whatever you want. At the end of the day, you're a man.
But I could understand we were talking about Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn. That I understand applies only. And here's what I will only agree.
Just bring yourself to me, and the king will tell you whether or not you're allowed to be.
No, because I feel like Caitlyn transitioned at some point. Caitlyn was Bruce, and then now Caitlyn's Caitlyn. But then sometimes if you catch her on the right day, you know what I mean? It's confusing. So I understand.
Caitlyn's a man.
Caitlyn is Caitlyn.
Caitlyn is a man, a biological
Caitlyn
male.
Is a murderer.
What?
Actually, Bruce murdered somebody.
What?
Anyway.
No, that's it. That's crazy. Now we're wiping your records. You just live as a whole different person.
No, Bruce killed somebody on the PCH, and then when Caitlyn, Bruce transitioned to Caitlyn, Caitlyn had a clean record because Caitlyn was not in the car. Bruce was. But look, I know I'm confused you. Let's go back to the trans animal thing. Is that really a thing?
The tea is piping hot.
Is trans animal really a thing?
Yes, and that's why you got to call the crazy. Okay, so if you start playing the crazy game, you never stop playing the crazy game. So I never started playing the crazy game, and people just got to toughen up. And I feel for you. If you want to be a woman, you can't be a woman. I'm sitting here pregnant. You don't get the right to come out here and tell me that you're a woman. This is my 4th kid. Okay, you don't even this is not even something that I'm going to debate right now. Okay, it's just not going to debate it. You just don't get to just decide upon it. And it's also, by the way, incredibly insulting, the idea that you get to be a woman just because you got some boobs and the lips. There's something very denigrating about that to women. It's basically saying anyone can be you. It's just a costume. Like, being a woman is not a costume. It's not a costume. It's just not.
First of all, some of you don't even do it well. I mean, I know a lot of women that don't have lips, that don't have ass, that can have kids, that, and some that do have uteruses that probably shouldn't. But that's not because of my opinion as a man. It's my opinion.
Because that's not what makes a woman. That's the whole point. It's
so what makes a woman a woman?
You think that you have to have lips and boobs to be a woman?
No, but what makes a woman a woman?
Well, we could start at the very beginning. We could talk about why can the doctor tell you, why do I know that I have a male in my stomach right now? Why are they able to do that? Right? We can go back to X and Y.
But all women can have kids, though. There's a lot of women that aren't able to have children.
I'm just saying, why are they even able to give you a gender test to tell you what are they looking for? We are different chromosomally. We are just literally different. Biologically, we are 2 different species.
Here we saw a homosexual attempting to criticize a woman who was determined to uphold what the Bible defines as right. We're living in a time when a man can openly criticize a woman for proclaiming that a man cannot transition into a woman. Think about that, brothers and sisters. We need more people like Candace Owens who are prepared to speak the truth regardless of the repercussions. See that? And for Black women, this is what Black women are supposed to be. Okay? Women who stand for truth and don't back down no matter who's on the other side. That's what Judeans are supposed to be. Okay? Now, am I saying the sister is right on everything? No, because I don't believe she is. But in this matter, standing for truth, that type of boldness is what Black women are supposed to do. That's how God created you, sister. Okay, it's unfortunate that Jason Lee is able to maintain a platform and communicate destructive ideas without opposition. Okay, when God condemns cross-dressing, we must have faith in his wisdom. We must believe it. Okay, God understands the mental toll it imposes on someone who believes they're born in the wrong body. God knows it. Those who engage in cross-dressing are often dealing with a mental illness. And this is a fact that cannot be overlooked, brothers and sisters. People who embrace an alternative lifestyle often experience depression and suicidal thoughts. And this is a reality. Okay, when God issues a command, there is a purpose behind it. And we must trust in that purpose, brothers and sisters. Okay? Those living an alternative lifestyle are grappling with mental health issues, and God is aware of this, brothers and sisters. How do we know? Until recently, the homosexual lifestyle was classified as a mental illness by the majority of psychologists. God cautions us about the repercussions of disregarding his commands throughout the Bible. Many have overlooked the fact that not long ago, a transgender man entered an elementary school armed with an assault rifle and took the lives of several children before taking his own.
A community devastated tonight, coping with immeasurable grief after a gunman opens fire at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, killing 2 young children and wounding 17 others.
That gunfire erupting in the school's church as the children attended Mass. The victims, just 8 and 10 years old, died at the scene. Older children literally jumped on top of their younger classmates to protect them from the gunfire. Tonight, the grief is being shared by thousands who attended a candlelight vigil to honor the fallen angels.
John Fenolio is here now with the latest on the devastating shooting and what we're learning about the gunman. John?
Cher and Micah, it is so horrific, it's hard to comprehend. Police in Minneapolis say this latest mass school shooting, like so many before it, was pre-planned. The suspected shooter had a manifesto and the guns were legally purchased. Tonight, many heartbroken families are demanding answers. Tonight, Minneapolis is reeling. Families and communities shattered by horrific violence.
It breaks my heart, makes me sick to my stomach.
Young children at a Catholic school were saying their morning prayers in church when police say a heavily armed suspect opened fire, spraying bullets through the stained glass windows, killing 2 children, ages 8 and 10, as they sat in the pews.
The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible.
14 other children and 3 adults wounded, but are expected to survive. It was the second day of school, just before 8:30, during Catholic Mass at Annunciation School. Pre-K through 8th grade students inside.
Instead of that joy and that curiosity and that learning, they were met with evil and horror and death.
Police say the suspect tried to barricade the doors to the church from the outside before firing dozens of rounds on parishioners with a rifle, shotgun, and pistol.
It certainly didn't sound like a handgun, and so he must have reloaded, several times.
Terrified parents and neighbors racing to the school.
The screams coming from the moms who didn't know where their kids are.
Authorities identifying the shooter as 23-year-old Robin Westman, formerly Robert, who, according to court records, legally changed their name at age 17. The change co-signed by Westman's mother, who police say worked at the school and church for many years before retiring. Westman, identified as a female, had no criminal record according to police and acted alone. Police say Westman legally purchased all 3 weapons, one of which she used to take her own life outside the church. Authorities say Westman posted several disturbing videos timed to be released on YouTube after the shooting, depicting an apparent manifesto. One video showing a drawing of the inside of the church, along with weapons, scribed with numerous anti-Semitic slogans, references to the Catholic Church, even a message to kill President Trump.
We have yet another transgender wrestling with depression, considering taking not only his own life, but the lives of children. Okay, God has repeatedly warned us that any man who exhibits feminine traits brings a curse upon himself. We exist in a society that wants transgenders to remain depressed and suicidal, which is why there's a lack of vocal opposition in this issue. Okay, when you don't speak out against it, what you're embracing it. You want these people to remain sick. That's what you would like, because you don't have the courage to speak reality. Let's be honest. Welcoming an alternative lifestyle is a manifestation of a mental illness. It is an assault from demonic powers that cannot be overlooked. We are living in a society where condemning effeminate men is frowned upon, and the consequences have been catastrophic. Okay? Wherever we look, brothers and sisters, the corporate media is attempting to minimize the psychological impact on those who choose to live the alternative life. Let us not forget how the mayor of Minneapolis criticized those who highlighted that the transgender responsible for the school shooting was also suffering from depression.
I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids. Kids died today. This needs to be about them. This needs to be wrapping our arms around these families with every bit of love that we can possibly show.
Brothers and sisters, follow us to the book of Matthew, the 4th chapter. We're going to read the 8th and the 9th verse. The title of today's broadcast: Blessed are the eyes that see. Blessed are the eyes that see, brothers and sisters. Okay? We're at Matthew chapter 4, verse 8, and it reads, "Again, the devil takes him up into an exceedingly high mountain and shows him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them." Brothers and sisters, this is when Christ was being tempted, right after he was baptized. Okay? Matthew 4:8 reads, and again, the devil takes him up into an exceeding high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. Verse 9 reads, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. What did he say to Christ? Verse 9, and saith unto him, I will give you all these things. Look at that, brothers and sisters. And he saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou fall down and worship me. Brothers and sisters, in this particular passage, Satan tempts Christ by presenting a faster route to success, testing his patience. See that? See? This teaches us that any shortcut that appears to be an easier option is a temptation from the devil. Be honest about that. In these texts, Satan attempts to lure Christ by suggesting a simpler, quicker way to achieve success. Happens every day. Okay, in this instance of temptation, Christ faced the attraction of shortcuts that would circumvent the challenging journey set before him. Examine that. Why? Here we see Satan offering Christ a more rapid, simpler path to obtain success. Think about that. Based on these passages, it is not surprising that many celebrities today partake in satanic practices. Why? To gain access to the elite circles of the upper class, one must be prepared to engage in sexual rituals. In the entertainment industry, success often requires conforming to the demands of a sexual cult. To enable others to share in their profits, the elite insist on a pledge to sexual deviancy, brothers and sisters. Many have overlooked the famous rapper Little Tony confessed he was contacted by the Illuminati and offered fame in return for homosexual acts.
I thought the devil was cap. I thought God was cap. Now, I ain't gonna say I thought God was cap. I just thought it wasn't no Illuminati. I thought it wasn't none of that going. But what I want folks to know is, I know you probably seen the story I was telling about me getting booked for a photo shoot and having a real encounter with the devil. So,
wait, you had an encounter with the devil?
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. Can you like?
They booked me for a photo shoot. This is what made me start getting into God right before I got locked up again.
Yeah.
This is how I knew God was talking to me though. I was straddling the fence still on belief. This is why I was telling you I didn't know what to believe because I was getting into all the spirituality. I ain't know what to believe. And God sent me a real encounter. So I went up. I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. They got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them like, how y'all get all this money? Like, how y'all do this? Like, they like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. I'm like, no, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, nah, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what type of demonic ritual? He say, the Illuminati never talked to you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at him like, bro, you playing game. Like, why y'all playing with me? Stop playing. Like, how y'all getting this money? He like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang? He was like, he giving me a list of people who all did it. I'm gonna keep it PG-13. He was basically saying either you let them peg you or you do oral and you'll get whatever you want. Tell them what you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. And all you gotta let them do is just do what they want to do to you, just for a night. Do some gay, basically do some gay. That's what he was telling me. I'm like, hell no, you playing, gang. You playing. So I'm still not trying to believe this. And he like, this when they get to laughing, they like, oh, we need to take him to the booty club.
This young, well-known rapper confessed that the Illuminati pressured him to perform oral sex or engage in anal sex to become a mainstream artist. Think about that, brothers and sisters. To reach the pinnacle of the entertainment world, you must be open to performing homosexual acts. Let's be honest. It is widely recognized that if you are prepared to partake in sexual deviancy, you can achieve wealth. See that? In order to sit at the top of the entertainment industry, you must be willing to perform homosexual acts. That's a fact that cannot be denied. Okay? It is widely recognized that those who are open to engaging in homosexual acts can easily acquire popularity and wealth. See that? See? And brothers and sisters, most of your celebrities have done it. Most of your rappers have done it. Okay, and guess what happens? They get recorded. See that? They think it's going to be a one-time thing, but no, this is going to be recorded, and we're going to blackmail you for all of your career. If you try to stop promoting the evil we tell you to, we're going to release this footage of you partaking in homosexual acts with some white Jewish executive. Okay, this is how it goes, brothers and sisters. These rappers that play tough, they're not tough, brothers and sisters. These are brothers who are willing to bend over. Okay, these are men that are willing to drop it low. We're going to put it out there. Why? Brothers and sisters, it's all an act. Hip hop, the hip hop industry is filled with homosexuals. Right? The tough talk is just that. It's tough talk. Why? Because they're trying to get their masculinity back. They're trying to get their manhood back that they lost in order to make money. Okay? And we're going to talk about that today. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 28, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, we're here at Proverbs chapter 28, verse 20, and it reads, "A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent." Proverbs 28 and 20 reads, "A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste, he that is in a rush to be rich, shall not be innocent." Brothers and sisters, in this passage, King Solomon, who is recognized as the richest man in the history of civilization, provides us with financial advice. The passage emphasizes that placing faithfulness in God will guarantee your financial security. Look at that. Right? It's important to remember that Solomon attained his wealth by prioritizing his relationship with God. Remember, Solomon stresses that financial gain should never be the primary element when making life decisions. The passage instructs us that always searching for quicker methods to accumulate wealth will lead us astray. When we concentrate on rapidly inflating our wealth, we fail to take God's will into account, brothers and sisters. Okay? If we let financial gain be the primary reason for our choices, we're committing a moral mistake. Okay? If we prioritize monetary gain as the primary motivation behind our choices, we are committing a moral transgression, brothers and sisters. Okay, the adversary understands that many people are fascinated by the allure of wealth, and he takes advantage of their desires for riches. See, modern celebrities are connected or affiliated with the Illuminati because the secretive group has offered them the promise of wealth and fame. Okay, little Tony revealed that if he was willing to participate in homosexual acts, he could quickly attain millions of dollars. The scriptures caution that loving wealth places you in alignment with Satan rather than with God. Okay, in a society that elevates material possessions and celebrates materialism, people are often willing to go to extreme lengths just to acquire money. Remember, little Tony revealed the influential members of the satanic group offered him to earn quick riches through homosexual acts. In a society that praises wealth and encourages materialism. People will go to extreme lengths for money. We are living in a time where people are prepared to steal, kill, or even sell drugs to acquire money without a second thought. Many have overlooked the recent surge in armored truck heists. There are people so desperate for money that they're willing to rob armored trucks while armed with assault rifles, brothers and sisters. Many forget that not long ago, a group of men brazenly robbed an armored truck at Kroger in broad daylight.
First tonight, new video released. Shocking moments here showing guns drawn. Memphis police now searching for a group of men who robbed an armored truck in Whitehaven. Thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. That holdup happened in the Kroger parking lot off East Shelby Drive. That was yesterday. That's where we find WRG's Harrison Klopp. And Harrison, you've been following this really scary situation here. Well, what have you learned tonight?
Shay, good evening. Unfortunately, we have only learned what police have told us, but this isn't something you see every day. And this all happened at the front of the Kroger when the armored truck arrived for a cash pickup, when detectives say a Nissan Murano pulled up behind the truck and two suspects got out with AR-style rifles. The two suspects then forced the armored truck employee on the ground when a third suspect got out of the car and grabbed two large bags of cash. All three men got away with the money. We talked with one woman who had been to this Kroger before, but was in disbelief that something like this happened in broad daylight.
It's ridiculous. I mean, for people to even feel the need to have to go that far to get what they think they need, it's discouraging. It's crazy because it makes you feel very unsafe. There was no regard to anybody, anything, broad daylight, an assault rifle. That's more than just a robbery.
Social media plays a significant role in promoting the idea that anything is acceptable if it results in financial gain. The pervasive influence of these platforms encourages people, what? To prioritize monetary gain above everything else. Okay, the desire for money is more intense than ever before, brothers and sisters. And we're going to talk about it, why the entertainment industry has started to exalt worldly values, which in turn contributes to a rise in criminal behavior. Okay, this trend is evident across popular culture, where the pursuit of wealth is often portrayed as the ultimate goal. Hip hop music in particular is heavily centered around themes of materialism, and this fact cannot be overlooked, brothers and sisters. Okay, rap lyrics emphasize wealth and material success as symbols of status. Okay, in many cases, even churches have transformed into corporations operating with a profit-driven mindset. Churches are driven by profit, brothers and sisters. Pastors and church administrators often amass millions of dollars through their activities. Okay, let's talk about that. Why? The commercialization of faith raises questions about the true priorities of these religious organizations. Okay, the increasing glorification of materialism across entertainment, social media, and even religious spheres reflects a societal shift. Okay, the whole earth is out of course. Why? The Christian church is out of course. Right? If pastors have become lovers of money, how does that affect the rest of the world? We're going to talk about it today, brothers and sisters. Okay, let's go to Matthew chapter 7 in the NLT version of the Bible. Brothers and sisters, we're here at Matthew, the 7th chapter, the 15th and 16th verses. And it reads, "Beware of false prophets who come disguised as harmless sheep, but are really vicious wolves. You can identify them by their fruit, that is, by the way they act. Can you pick grapes from a thorn bush or figs from a thistle?" Brothers and sisters, let's take a look at that again. Matthew 7 and 15 reads, "Beware of false prophets who come disguised as harmless sheep, but are really vicious wolves. You can identify them by their fruit, that is, by the way they act. Can you pick grapes from a thorn bush or figs from thistles? Take a look at that, brothers and sisters. Christ warned us multiple times about the infiltration of the Christian church by predators. Christ revealed that some destructive people have gained positions of authority within the church. This was prophecy. How do we know? A careful study of these passages shows that Christ advised us to be cautious and not to trust religious leaders blindly. See? Throughout his teachings, Christ repeatedly warned believers to be vigilant about the presence of false teachers, false prophets. He emphasized that not everyone who claims to speak on God's behalf is genuine. See? Think about that. Christ pointed out that there are those who are venomous and corrupt who have managed to infiltrate the church. There's no doubt, brothers and sisters, that corruption within the church has affected society as a whole. There's an expectation that pastors should not become millionaires. Yet today, many earn hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's important to remember that Prophet David Taylor was recently arrested by the FBI on trafficking charges. Prophet David Taylor collected over $50 million in donations and used his church members as solicitors for his schemes.
We have a second breaking story to tell you about this noon. The FBI involved in a search for two self-professed religious leaders, one arrested right here in the Triangle.
Yeah, we do have WREO's Sean Gallagher. He has been on that story there. Sean, we had Sky 5 above the scene at one point. Tell us a little bit about what you have seen since you've been following this.
Yeah, Chris, this is a very active scene here behind me. I'm told that the FBI raided this building here behind me around 5 or 6 in the morning. And take a look, several hours later, they are still here sifting through lots of evidence. And this is a very odd story when you hear the details. We're talking about two people who are self-proclaimed religious leaders, and we're still gathering more information about the connection here in Durham. But this is what we know right now. David Taylor, a man was arrested here in Durham, and Michelle Brannon in Tampa, Florida. Federal indictments accuse the two of receiving roughly $50 million in donations to their religious organization since 2014, largely through forced labor practices in call centers across the country. Their church, known as the Kingdom of God Global Church and formerly the Joshua Media Ministries International, with Taylor referring to himself as an apostle and also Jesus's best friend, claiming to have had multiple face-to-face encounters with God. Meanwhile, he's accused of forcing people to work in call centers in Michigan, Florida, Texas, and Missouri. And the indictment says he set unattainable goals, punishing those folks by public humiliation, food and shelter restrictions, physical assaults, and more. And while also having personal servants to fulfill his demands round the clock, including transportation of women to his locations, having them take Plan B. All of this is part of what the FBI is calling a nationwide takedown of their forced labor organization. So they will be out here for a while. We're still trying to learn what the connection is to Durham and why Taylor was here in the first place. As soon as we get any of that information, we'll bring it to you as soon as possible. But for now, live in Durham, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Pastors who live according to God's principles should not be wealthy or own excessively large homes. Okay? You shall know a man by his fruit. There is no way that a godly pastor should be a millionaire. No way, brothers and sisters. Any pastor that has a home bigger than a hotel is not walking in the ways of the Lord. How do we know? The disciples did not live lavishly, and pastors who are doing so need to be scrutinized. They need to be examined. They need to be analyzed. Okay, the churches are promoting the love of money, with pastors serving as the prime examples, brothers and sisters. Many churches hold tax-exempt status, 501c3, enabling pastors to retain 100% of donations without taxation. Okay, many well-known pastors in the U.S. are multi-millionaires, which is a fact that cannot be disputed. Okay, many people overlook that Prophet David Prophet Taylor was once recognized within the Christian community as a warlock, brothers and sisters. Taylor once requested 30 million in donations from Christians around the world. And we're going to put that on the table. Why? The church's influence on society has become detrimental, and it does not align with God's principles. Okay, and that's impacting the younger generation. Society is experienced increased wickedness, partly because the Christian church no longer sticks to the teachings of Christ. Okay, we have to be honest about this. Society is more immoral than ever before, largely because the church has abandoned biblical values. Okay, the church was meant to teach parents how to raise their children properly, but it has lost its discipline, which has negatively affected both parents and children across generations. Okay, most of the popular pastors in the United States are millionaires many times over, and that cannot be denied. Many people forget that Prophet David Taylor was known amongst the Christian community as a warlock. Many people forget that David Taylor asked for $30 million in donations from Christians worldwide.
But I want you to get your finances out now. I want you to get your credit card out now. I want you to move under the sound of my voice as a prophet. I want you to, some of you, we need right now, we need way over $3 million to do what we're doing. We actually need $30 million, $36 million to be exact. We need $36 million to be ahead of the game before November, before December, way before December, before November is over. And I know God showed a dream that there's one man that can give 27 million. You have it. And God says one man can give 27 million of that 36 million you need. He says, and there are other people who can give millions, some hundreds of thousands. And so you got to be obedient. I want you to be obedient to God. We need 36 million before the end of November. And God said in a dream he would give it to us to do his will in his kingdom. So I want to say, all of you who know you have money in reserves, some of you say, I don't have 100,000, but you have 20,000. You have 50,000 here, or you have 10,000, or some of you have 500. You can sow. And I know God came to me in a dream, spoke to me rather through a dream, and told me that people can sow and give, but they're holding back. Don't do that no more. Obey his voice. Amen.
The church has influenced society in a way that is not pleasing to God, and it has affected the younger generation, brothers and sisters. There is a growing wickedness in society because the Christian church does not follow the tenets of Christ. And we have to put it out there. Why? Young people are out of line with God because churches are out of line with God. Children have been corrupted because their parents have not raised them right because the church is promoting lawlessness. Society as a whole is more wicked than ever. Okay? Society as a whole is more wicked than at any point in the history of the world. And it's because the church no longer promotes biblical tenets. Okay? The children are not being raised right because the church is not teaching parents how to parent. And we have to put that on the table. It was supposed to be the church that taught parents how to be parents, brothers and sisters. The church has lost all of its discipline, and that has trickled down on the parents and children of this generation. We're going to show you. Let's go to Proverbs 13 and 24, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, we're at Proverbs, the 13th chapter and the 24th verse in the King James Version of the Bible. And it reads, he that spares his rod hates his son, but he that loves him chasteneth him betimes. Proverbs 13 and 24 reads, he that spares his rod hates his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. Brothers and sisters, the Bible teaches that a father's love for his child is demonstrated through discipline. See that? According to biblical principles, caring parents show their love by disciplining their children. Let's be honest about what the Bible says. Okay, the Bible stresses that discipline, especially for young boys, is necessary for them to become the adults God intends. See that? The Bible warns that a lack of discipline can lead to a negative long-term effect on their development. See that? According to God, discipline is crucial for all children, especially young boys, to develop into the adults he envisions for them to become. Okay, God knows what is best for children and suggests that physical discipline is appropriate for the young ones. See that? And the church no longer promotes that, right? The church previously advised parents to use a belt for disciplining their children, a practice that has since faded from the church's teachings. When is the last occasion you heard a pastor emphasize the importance of spanking children? Let's be honest. The youth have become destructive because the parents are neglecting God's guidance regarding the significance of discipline. Okay? When observing society as a whole, it is evident that much of the wrongdoing is perpetuated by young people who were not raised according to biblical principles. Many of the gang members and drug dealers we encounter did not experience physical discipline during their upbringing. We are in an era where parents are fearful of disciplining their children. Many overlook the shocking incident recorded on video when a young man stabbed a police officer who was answering a call to his home in front of his parents.
Please, Barbara. Hey! No! No! Get back! Get back! Get you going to the physical. No. Get down! Stop it! Get away! Go! No! Stay up! Stay up! Stay there! Hey! You got a knife! You got a knife!
You're gonna get tased, you hear me? You will get
away!
You will get shot. John, put it down. Put it down. You understand me?
I didn't want to do that.
Okay. Did you let it go? Do you have, look at me. Do you have anything else on you?
I'm ready to just go there.
Okay. Listen to what he's telling you. He's down. It's a predictor.
God has instructed us that neglecting proper discipline during a child's early years will lead to catastrophic outcomes. In the footage we saw, this young man repeatedly stabbed a police officer while his father stood watching helplessly. Okay, this young man was willing to attack law enforcement officers, even in the presence of his own parents. As a result of his actions, this young man is likely to spend the rest of his natural life in prison for attempted murder on a police officer. All of this stems from his family's failure to raise him according to God's commandments. Okay, choosing not to discipline children when they're young demonstrates a deep neglect and hatred towards them. What we see in that video is a tragic consequence of ignoring biblical guidance on how children should be raised. Okay? Follow us to 1 Peter, brothers and sisters, in the NLT. Brothers and sisters, we're here at 1 Peter 3 and 3. also verse 4. The book of First Peter, the 3rd chapter, the 3rd and the 4th verse in the NLT version of the Bible. And it reads, don't be concerned about the outward beauty of fancy hairstyles, expensive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. You should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. Brothers and sisters, this is written to sisters. Okay, because why? The sisters, not only have the children been totally affected by the lack of guidance from the Christian church, the sisters, okay, are in bad shape. When you look in the when you look at women, they've been indoctrinated by feminism. Okay, in the Black community, these sisters are promoting vanity and sexualizing themselves. Look at what the Bible says. 1 Peter 3:3, and it reads, don't be concerned about the outward beauty of fancy hairstyles, expensive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. Verse 4 reads, you should clothe yourself instead with the beauty that comes from within. You should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. Brothers and sisters, in these passages, God offers guidance to women, emphasizing that their worth is founded on their character rather than their appearance. See, he advises women to avoid engaging in a lifestyle driven by sexual lust. Okay, here God reminds women that their true value lives in their character. Okay, it's not in their physical looks. See, God emphasizes that a woman's true value is found in her character rather than her appearance, brothers and sisters. Examine that. Okay, and guess what? This type of guidance is important for young women to hear. While society equates a woman's value with her sexuality, the Bible presents a contrasting viewpoint. See that? God consistently emphasizes that a woman's true value is rooted in her character. Okay? It's not in her physical attractiveness. Think about that. This particular message serves as an important reminder that external beauty is fleeting, but the qualities of a virtuous heart last forever. Okay? Unfortunately, brothers and sisters, in the current cultural landscape, there's a noticeable absence of influential celebrities willing to endorse these biblical values. Right? Many of today's most prominent stars who wield influence over young audiences glorify vanity and sexuality. While the world pushes the message that a woman's value is primarily linked to her physical appeal, the Bible offers a contrasting perspective. See that? The Bible encourages women to see themselves through the lens of God's truth, that their worth is defined by their character. In this social media age, God reminds women that their true value lies in their character, not in their physical appearance. Okay, the text also reminds men that they should not choose a partner based solely on looks. Men are told, don't choose a partner with your eyes. Okay, this is the kind of advice that all young women and men need to hear. Currently, there isn't a single influential star willing to support the messages found in Scripture. Today's celebrities who have the power to influence young women often promote vanity and sexuality, right? The world tells us that what? What does the world say? The world tells women that their value is tied to their sexuality, but the Bible offers a different perspective. Today's youth influencers would never suggest that a woman's character is more significant than her looks. Okay, it is undeniable that celebrity influencers usually fail to provide sound advice. Many overlook the fact that Cardi B has been online advising young women to leverage their sexuality. When a girl sought Cardi B's advice on handling a breakup, listen to her response.
So at the end of the day, fuck that nigga. Go get a motherfucking job, bitch. Fuck him. Glow up on his ass. Go get you a motherfucking BBL, bitch. Fuck him. Fuck him. Get you a nice fucking lace front, bitch, and go the fuck outside. Fuck that nigga. And I hope he do die. Piss me the fuck off. Stop playing with bitches' feelings.
Cardi B is one of the most celebrated women in the world today. And here we see the factors contributing to her fame. The Bible advises women against leveraging their sexuality because it leads to significant repercussions. Okay, God warns women that an excessive focus on their looks will result in countless hardships. Cardi B is offering guidance to young girls, encouraging them to embrace sexualization. We exist in an era where providing sound advice on mainstream television is discouraged. To achieve popularity, you must refrain from dispensing valuable advice. That's the truth. The Bible advises women to exercise caution regarding the use of their sexuality. Okay, scriptures warn that when women prioritize their looks excessively, it will attract trouble and lead them astray from the moral path. Okay, follow us to Proverbs chapter 21, brothers and sisters, please. Brothers and sisters, we're here at Proverbs 21 and 17 in the NLT version of the Bible, and it reads, "Those who love pleasure become poor. Those who love pleasure become poor. Those who love wine and luxury will never be rich." Proverbs 21 and 17 reads, "Those who love pleasure become poor. Those who love inebriation and luxury will never be rich." Brothers and sisters, in these scriptures, Solomon offers a vital reminder to men everywhere not to be enslaved by their cravings. The Bible clearly states that a man who follows his cravings blindly is on the path to self-destruction. Okay, a man who chases after temporary pleasures will find himself in poverty, not only physical poverty, but spiritual poverty. Okay, when a man is impoverished, he's what? He's showing his lack of discipline. Let's be honest about that. According to the text, when a man lets his desires conquer him, it often results in poverty and ruin. See? So Solomon advises men to resist being governed by their appetites. Right? Whether that's sex, whether that's drugs, whether that's games, right? It is highlighted here that a man who lacks self-control will bring about his own destruction. We are living in a time where corporate media promotes being a slave to your lust. Self-restraint is something that is criticized in corporate media, and that is a fact that cannot be denied, brothers and sisters. We're witnessing sex being openly promoted in corporate media, and drugs are being legalized in many states. The Bible tells us that a person who lets their appetites control them will be poor, not just physically, but also spiritually. Here we learn that addiction leads to emptiness, and popular culture tries to conceal this truth, brothers and sisters. Many people forget that popular hip-hop artist Kid Cudi confessed that he allowed popular culture to lead him into a life of drug abuse.
You also published your memoirs.
Yes.
Yes. And in this book, you openly talk about your addiction. Back in the time, you admitted that you were addicted to cocaine. I want to know, what is the biggest lie cocaine told you about yourself? Made you believe about yourself?
That I was invincible. I think I was so reckless on that shit. Like I was living life on the edge.
Yeah.
And when I look back,
it's so scary to realize that, like, I was very much so gambling with the devil. And it made me not care whether I lived or died. It just made me not, it just made me invincible. Like I could take on the world. And I'm happy that I was able to come out of that. And you know, they always say like there's no high like the first time you get high, and that is true. The whole time on cocaine, I was chasing the very first time high that I never got again. So that's one thing I like to tell kids, like to remember, don't fuck with that shit. The first high, you'll get it. The rest of the highs will never be the same. And you'll be chasing that first high the rest of your life. And it's going to make you miserable. You're going to be a shitty person. It's going to fuck with your creativity. It's going to fuck with everything about your mental. This is the first time anybody's had me ask me like kind of a question about like, you know, what I would say to kids or like what type of guidance I would give about drugs. I don't think that anyone should try hardcore drugs. You shouldn't try cocaine. You shouldn't try Molly. You shouldn't try any of that shit. I don't think you'll get anything out of it. I know you won't get anything out of it. You'll end even more miserable than when you started. And there's no happy ending to that story. There just isn't. There's just nothing. It'll just pull you down to the darkness, to hell. Literally, you will be at the basement of hell. And that's where I was for years, in the basement of hell.
Brothers and sisters, we're here at Isaiah 59 and 2 in the King James Version of the Bible. The title of today's broadcast, Blessed Are the Eyes That See. Blessed are the eyes that see. Brothers and sisters, there are many traps that Satan has set, and most people cannot see them. Okay? We need discernment in the last days. The Bible says, blessed are the eyes that see. Can you discern, brothers and sisters? Can you separate the signal from the noise? There's so many distractions, brothers and sisters. Are you able to see through the distractions? The title of today's broadcast, Blessed Are the Eyes That See. We're at Isaiah 59 and 2, and it reads, but your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. Isaiah 59 and 2 reads, your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. Brothers and sisters, the Bible teaches that living in sin puts us in opposition to God. Celebrities are financially rewarded for advocating immoral behavior, which ultimately makes God oppose them. See that? Satan knows, okay? Satan knows that God is opposed to us when we're promoting a life of sin or embracing or living a life of sin. So he continues to use celebrities to promote it. See that? Satan knows that sin separates us from God. So corporate media only promotes sinful content. This is why the corporate culture and the social media oppose God. They spread immorality everywhere they go, even in children's shows. And this is intentionally, brothers and sisters. Okay, companies like Nickelodeon and Disney are promoting sin to children, which is undeniable. Many people overlook that Snoop Dogg recently voiced his concerns about the homosexual content in popular media. The rapper spoke out against the promotion of the homosexual agenda in the recent Toy Story film. According to Snoop, a same-sex relationship depicted in the film caused confusion for his grandson.
I took my grandson to see
what was the movie with Buzz Light?
I think it's
Yeah,
called
with
Lightyear.
Kiki. And like, and she had a baby with a woman. Oh, I didn't come in for this. They putting it everywhere. What up, though? It's your boy Big Snoop D-O double G.
Snoop catching some heat for comments he made about LGBTQ representation on the It's Giving podcast. The rapper explaining his shock at seeing lesbian parents depicted on screen. The scene from the 2022 film marked Disney's first same-sex kiss.
Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, I didn't come in for this. Just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. So it's like, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of I don't have an answer for it.
The moment was almost axed from the theatrical cut, but Pixar employees protested and got it reinstated.
It threw me for a loop. These are kids that we have to show that at this age, like,
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask. I don't have the answer.
What'd you tell them?
Watch the movie. Eat this popcorn.
Shh. Snoop's hot take sparked criticism in the comments. One user saying, "It isn't that hard to explain. Science." Another chiming in with, "Being afraid of gay parents in movies is crazy." And this reply, "He was probably smoking weed while watching the movie."
Celebrities face repercussions if they oppose the homosexual agenda. In today's society, the devil seeks to distance people from God using social media and corporate television to promote immorality. Okay, in today's society, celebrities are censored or silenced if they dare to voice opinions that oppose the prevailing agendas. Okay, we're living in an era where forces of evil are actively working to distance humanity from God. Okay, no matter how wealthy a person may be, expressing a viewpoint that divides from the mainstream narrative will result in severe social consequences. People who attempt to share advice rooted in morality will find themselves silenced, brothers and sisters. Offering good advice is discouraged, and anyone speaking against immorality risks public backlash. Even celebrities like Snoop Dogg are not exempt. When he criticized the sexual perversion in animated films, social media vilified him.
Snoop Dogg is responding to the backlash. After the rapper slammed LGBTQ+ representation in Disney's Lightyear, many spoke out on the rapper's thoughts, including TV personality T.S. Madison. Well, in the comment section under Madison's interview with TMZ, Snoop shares his support for the LGBTQ+ community, writing, "I was just caught off guard and had no answer for my grandsons. All my gay friends know what's up. They've been calling me with love. My bad for not knowing the answers for a 6-year-old. Teach me how to learn. I'm not perfect." And in case you missed his original comments, Snoop spoke out on the It's Giving podcast August 20th, where he said he was shocked to see a same-sex couple in a child's movie while taking his grandson to see Lightyear.
So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years, they move down the line, they're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this. Just came to watch the goddamn movie. So it's like, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
What'd you tell them?
Watch the movie. Eat this popcorn.
Shh. You said, we don't know. We don't know.
It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids that we have to.
There was not a person alive who thought that Snoop Dogg would stand 10 toes down, as the youngins say. Celebrities are not allowed to voice their opinion unless it's an opinion that is supported by the mainstream narrative. I don't care how wealthy you are or how influential you think you are or how popular you are. If you go against the prevailing narrative, you will be vilified, brothers and sisters. Okay, and we wanted to show that the celebrities, the artists, the movie stars are all being controlled, brothers and sisters. Open your eyes. Okay? Do not be influenced by these celebrities. They're being controlled. They're all lovers of money. When you're a lover of money, brothers and sisters, you'll say anything to keep making it. Okay? These celebrities are not being paid millions of dollars because they're talented. They're being paid to keep quiet. They're sellouts, brothers and sisters. Okay, the title of today's broadcast, brothers and sisters, blessed are the eyes that see. Brothers and sisters, open your eyes to the traps, the snares that Satan has set. We want to say, Kwam Yasharala, sin no more.